Welcome back to Beginner Meets Pro Business Insights. Today we have a little bit of a special episode, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but just I hope you enjoy. Today I'm interviewing Dev'Roux Maharaj, and he can take it away from there.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dev, born and raised in the Greater Toronto Area, alumnus of the University of Toronto, Harvard University's pre-doctoral research program, and the London School of Economics Masters of Economic History research program. Most of my career has been spent in technology and research. So I started my career off first working in government under the first Trudeau administration. Then afterwards joined Amazon as a researcher, stayed there for a little under 5 years. Afterwards became was a research fellow at Harvard University. And during my master's, I became a venture capitalist, investing in AI solutions all throughout Asia Pacific. And I love giving back, meeting young founders and entrepreneurial people like Ryan. And I'm more than happy to share my experience to whoever.
Thank you. And how did you find yourself in the technological sector, the finance tech?
So my first real kind of exposure to the tech sector was when I was working as an intern in high school. I was actually your age, Ryan, when I was an intern at the House of Commons. And the member of parliament I was working for, a Mississauga area MP, that's all I will say, was working on the transport committee. And on the transport committee, he asked me to do a cross-jurisdictional analysis of drone regulations. So I was meeting people virtually at that time from Australia, the UK, the US, and seeing how they were looking at drone technology and the risks and benefits of investing in it, right? Because at least Mississauga is right. We host one of North America's largest airports, Pearson International. So
Mhm.
airport safety is an incredibly important thing, right? If you fly a drone too close to the runway, it can kill a lot of people. So how can we
Yeah.
build technological solutions there? So that was kind of my first expose into tech. Second expose was joining Amazon, right? I was an operations research intern. So I was working in a warehouse, lifting boxes and finding ways to use tech to make that process better. And it was from there I learned all about AWS and how it was the core of Amazon's business. It was the profit engine. And it's where a lot of people within Amazon actually want to work because of the culture and just pays more money. And so that's where I really started to focus in on AI. That's where I learned all about it and algorithms. That's where I started to self-teach myself coding, and just started vigorously just networking in that space and just learning as much as possible. And even, everyone always forgets that like half of the founding team of OpenAI is from the University of Toronto. And so back in 2017, 2018, Ilya, Sam Altman, Mira, they always used to give lectures at the University of Toronto, right? And so way back when I used to attend, I think I only attended one of them in late 2017, in Bain Center. And it was great. They're talking about this large language model stuff. I'm like, I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool. Uh, so I think the best part about tech is that all the knowledge is so democratic, right? Just follow the right
Yeah.
Twitter accounts. Go
Mhm.
on Arvix and you can just absorb information like no other. So that was kind of my real entry into tech.
Yeah. That's awesome. And it's crazy how at such a young age you're like talking with such important and influential people and just understanding how, like drones and airport safety and all that, and meeting internationally with all these people. That's really, really cool. Um, and like circling back to when you were younger, what is something that you wish, like for example, around my age or maybe slightly older, what is something that when you were around my age is that you wish you knew?
Um, Ask for more meetings, right? And also,
Mhm.
I think fundamentally this will carry over to every leg of your life. But you at the end of the day, like you're not lucky, you make your own luck, right?
Mhm.
So if you want to go and meet with very powerful, important people, be in rooms with them and just ask them to meet, right? And your age is in many cases, it's not a detriment. If anything, it's actually a blessing, right? Because there's a lot of very older senior executives that are mentoring me right now. And the only reason why I got them to mentor me and extend their support to me was because I asked. So
Yeah.
your age is your advantage. Be humble. Do your research beforehand. Make sure you're just not fiddling with your thumbs. And volunteer for a lot of things. I wish I doubled down on my volunteering way back when and that I maintained those relationships. And that's, I think, the
Yeah.
third component. Is just constantly keeping in touch with the people that were there when you were
Mhm.
literally like just in
Yeah.
high school and stuff. It's only now I've started to reconnect with a lot of them. I'm meeting a friend in Ottawa. He now works at the office of the Prime Minister, but way back when we were interns together. So, like, keep and nurture those relationships. Have like an Excel sheet, put their name in it with like semi reminders to go in and like text them and say, "Hey, how's
Yeah.
it going? Grab coffee," right? So that's how the professionals do it now. That's how executives maintain their relationship.
Mm.
So you can do it as a teenager, then you're in a very good spot.
Wow. Um, for the next coming decade, next few years, what are some opportunities that you think like now is the time for young investors, young people to go and either capitalize on like a certain sector, that kind of stuff?
So I'm formally leaving the investing space because I'm fairly bearish on the whole private AI investment market, generally speaking. But in terms of just an opportunity to capture alpha, alpha being profitability, um, first off, talk to as many people who are looking to use AI as possible. A, B, keep up to date with everything relating to do with AI or any kind of technology, whether it's drones or crypto or whatever. Just stay up to date. And always ask people, it's like, hey, look, if you have the budget and the buy-in for your company or this or that. What do you need and why do you need it and how much are you willing to pay for it, right?
Mhm.
That's how the strongest entrepreneurs in general move. And so for young people looking to be builders, to be entrepreneurs, I'll say first off, build off your technical acumen, keep up to date with whatever ecosystem it is you're interested in. Always talk to end users. Their input is far more valuable than anything a VC will tell you. As a matter of fact, VCs love lying to to prospective founders and stuff. So in terms of investing your energy, just make sure you're always tying what technicals you're finding with real life solutions. And then if you decide to build and iterate off of that, then you're going to build things that will make you a lot of money.
Mm. Wow. So all about just putting the word out there, always asking, always trying to be like forthcoming and outgoing. Mm.
Yes, right. Like just yesterday, I met these team of undergrads at Waterloo. Right there, one's in neuro and computer science, other one's just pure computer science student, and they had this really cool AI device idea for training and development. And I'm like, look, if you want to get your foot in more doors, don't present yourself as a startup. Present yourself as research engineers at the University of Waterloo. What sounds? Who do you think these companies will want to work more with, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right? So sometimes it's a matter of just branding yourself. They have the technical abilities. So there's no if or buts on whether or not they'll be able to execute. It's just building that confidence and building those relationships because
Mhm.
customer relationships will are the most valuable and sacred things out there. Investor relationships are dime a dozen, right? Investors will come when you build something that's of value to people.
Yeah. Mm. That's incredible. Um, let's see. And so when it comes to like finance and investing and your years of knowledge and stuff, how's your outcome on like risk, maybe in investing or just in like day-to-day world? What's your experience on how to like evaluate risk and reward?
I think fundamentally, like there's a common narrative that they talk about the first principles of startups, but I think fundamentally that those first principles, and I think Paul Graham has like a very good essay on it. Read it and just like apply it to all other components of finance. And it's, first off, like don't overcomplicate things, right? Like private equity in general, as a field is so incredibly complicated. I'm on private equity Twitter. I see some of the shenanigans these funds are pulling, and the more complicated it is, and the moment you need a team of partners at big law firms charging 5,000 an hour, you've probably lost the plot, right? So keep it simple, keep it things that you actually understand and that you're actually passionate about. Um, Damn it, I wish I bought NVIDIA back in 2017 when I was buying the graphics card for my laptop. I think the graphics card was $100, but if I put $100 into NVIDIA, it would be worth 1.5 million right now. So
Yeah, crazy.
it is what it is.
Mm.
Invest in things you're passionate about that can speak a lot too, because if it's not just you looking and using and reading these things, it's everyone else. So the second component is uh, train yourself in the technicals, right? It's more
Mhm.
easy than ever to teach yourself how to do a SWOT analysis and how to use pivot tables, like what I taught you in class, Ryan. All these things, like I'm even seeing like 13, 14-year-olds who are building like macro models for finance
Wow.
on Excel, right? And
Mhm.
so, and they're learning math, they're learning coding, they're recruiting for quant funds in their first year, in their last year of high school, first, second year internship. It's crazy. So be passionate about what it is you're doing. Do your research. Keep it simple. and be very thorough. Those are the things I'd say are the core bits of advice.
Hmm. Wow. Yeah. Okay. And then for people who are trying to get into the finance world, what are some things that maybe helped you like pave the way?
Oh, network, 100%.
Hmm.
There's a lot of like networking events for so in undergrad, what I would do is there, and this is a very Toronto thing. And so of course, unfortunately, people are limited by geography, but because this is the heart of the country in many ways, shapes or form, there's a lot of these philanthropic clubs and finance clubs and professional societies here. And they always need volunteers, right? For their
Hmm.
cocktail networking events or their luncheon with a senior executive speaking. So I would always email them and say, hey, do you need a volunteer? Um, and they'll say, yeah, sure, volunteer, come. You can listen into the event. We'll give you free lunch, dinner, or you can participate in the cocktail hour afterwards if you help us with registrations or stuff. And so
Hmm.
I would usually be the youngest person in the room. Sometimes I was like 18. I wasn't legal enough to start drinking, but there I was getting boozed up. Don't tell anyone I said that. What was going on the internet? So I guess everyone knows. Um, but when you're like the only teenager university student in this room of senior vice presidents, managing directors, and you're saying, "Hey,
Hmm.
look, I'm passionate about technology. I worked in the government doing these kinds of analysis. I'm just hungry to learn. Can I grab a coffee?" It's very impactful because very few people are that forthcoming and that
Hmm.
honest with them.
Yeah.
So put yourself in rooms with people that you kind of want to be when you're that age.
Hmm. That's so all about the coffee chats and like getting yourself in the room, getting yourself like the foot in the door.
Yes, and when you connect with them, don't just add them on LinkedIn or stuff. They're too busy to check it. Ask for their email. They'll say, "Hey, can you give me your email or your phone number, and
Got
I'll
it.
text you. We can set up something."
Mhm.
It's usually more direct, and these are again just super busy people. So just
Yeah.
don't be a little pushy, but not too pushy.
Mhm. And when it comes to like success and succeeding in your goals, whether finance or just in general, are there any habits that you have that like help you reach those goals?
Thoroughness, right? Like it might seem it seems very obvious, but once you start working corporate, you realize just how many people are fairly incompetent. So if you're actually able to like make a proper deliverable, execute it. You can deliver something that's robust in a short time frame,
Mhm.
um, while still maintaining a good repertoire with your colleagues, asking good questions, being on time. These basic
Yeah.
things, like 80-90% of people working in corporate Canada or corporate America cannot do these things.
Mhm.
So at a baseline, if you can do these things and you can produce good quality work and you're asking the right questions and your technicals are there, then um, then I think you will naturally just make your way up in an organization that's good and that will recognize that, right? If you're doing those
Yeah.
things and you're not moving ahead, it's probably not the right organization for you. I'm
Mhm.
very in favor of jumping jobs, but just make sure you wait a year or two before you do that.
Yeah. And then for finance and investing trends for like the next few years, what are some things that you're like looking out for or steering away from?
I'm waiting for a crash, so I'm fully in bonds right now. I mean, you have Palantir trading at what is 700 price to earnings ratio, and even Tesla's at like 80 or 90 right now. Shopify
Mhm.
is probably the worst in Canada, but they're at 50, which is nothing because I think like Amazon's at like 60 or 70. So these are very unsustainable multiples. The usual like healthy range is 10 to 15. RBC, all
Mhm.
the Canadian, most of the banks are at 10 to 15 percent PE ratios. So I think, and banks actually do very good in financial crises because they get their money on fees, right? You
Yeah.
sell this stock, the bank gets a fee. They don't care how much stock you're selling, they just care about the fee. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of volatility in the market, they're going to make bank. So
Mhm.
quite literally and figuratively. So I'd say invest in good horizontal businesses that are not going anywhere that are fundamental. Not Nvidia because they're just too expensive. I don't know why they're worth 5.5 trillion. They're the world's largest economy. It's US, China, Nvidia, Japan, Germany. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. So yeah, so I'm in bonds and then some of these verticals, but otherwise I think AI in general, if you're looking to start a business, will always be good.
Mhm. Um, let's see. Do you have any questions for me, maybe?
Yeah, so what's one thing that or foresight that you have on your generation that you think older people like me or your parents that we just don't, that we're not getting?
A lot of people my age usually they have ambitions, then they don't, they lose the follow through to it. So there's either a lot of creativity, a lot of ideas, and a lot of just kind of things that want to be done, and many people who either are unable to get the right footing and figure out how to get it done, or are just too lazy to, get up out of bed and actually figure it out and make a plan. So a lot of times adults may think like, oh, it's just a lot of silly ideas, or like this generation's being lazy. But I mean, 80% of that is true, and then the other 20% is more of people not knowing
Mhm.
like where to start.
Interesting. So then how do you and your generation find places to start on your projects, whatever that may be?
I think it comes down to a lot of like relying on others and asking questions. So those who do ask questions and those who do try to figure out like, oh, there's probably someone who knows how to get this done, and then they go ask. That's usually how you get your footing. You figure out someone's done this before me. Let me try to figure out if I can ask the right people and figure out how they got it done.
Interesting. Gotcha. Gotcha. What's one thing you think that you wish schools would teach you that they're currently not teaching you?
Um, I think psychology, big one, how your brain works, and just kind of the aspects of your brain, the aspects of humans, and like behavior is a big
Mhm.
thing. That it's like there's a course, you can take psychology, but it's so niche, so out there that not enough people take it. So lower grades you don't really have that option, and then higher grades you're specializing to other stuff.
Gotcha. Very interesting. Those are all the
Yeah,
questions that I have for you.
awesome. And if listeners could remember just one last thing about this conversation, or like one quote, your favorite quote, maybe, what is something that you would leave them with?
I don't know if I'd leave a quote, but I'll say, a bias for action and just asking stupid questions early on will put you miles ahead of your peers, right? You said, 20% of people have things they want to do, but they don't know where to start. I'll say
Yeah,
that's the point to start, right? You want to start a company, you want to start your own AI lab, you want to learn how to code, go into Google and just start Googling it. Go on
yeah,
Twitter, look it up, right? Go on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. There's so many great resources out there. You want to learn how to code? Harvard CS50. You want to learn how to sell? Go to the Y Combinator YouTube channel, or just how to sell to enterprises and businesses and stuff, right? So
yeah,
just use Google. Every information so accessible. There's zero cost to becoming the best version of yourself, right? You just need
yeah,
to want to get it. You want to get
yeah.
it, do it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This was amazing.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, I'll see you.
If you want to see more stuff like that, feel free to leave a comment. And if you know anyone who wants to be interviewed, or if you want to be interviewed yourself and you are really adamant about the tech sector, then let me know. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.